There is a fruit tree growing in American cities right now that is technically a crime. If you plant it in El Paso, Texas, you are violating city code. If you try to buy it in Las Vegas, you will find it blacklisted, banned since 1991. In Tucson and Albuquerque, agricultural departments have spent decades trying to wipe it off the map. They call it a public nuisance. They call it an environmental hazard. They claim it is a threat to public health. But if you look past the warning signs and the municipal bans, you find a biological paradox that shouldn't exist. This criminal tree produces a fruit with more vitamin C than oranges. It contains more iron than beef by weight. It has a protein profile that rivals legumes, something almost unheard of in the fruit kingdom. And it drops this food by the gallon for free, on the very sidewalks where it is illegal to stand. This is the story of the only superfood in America that you can be fined for growing. This is the story of how a tree that once drove the global economy became public enemy number one. And it is the story of why modern cities would rather have sterile concrete than messy abundance. Welcome to Secrets of the Land. To understand why this tree is banned today, you have to understand why it is here. It is not a native monster that invaded our shores. We invited it. In fact, the government did not just invite it. They begged farmers to plant it. The year was 1603. King James I of England was jealous. He looked at the French and the Italians, swimming in wealth from the silk trade, and he wanted a piece of the action. Silk comes from a caterpillar, the silkworm Bombyx mori, and that caterpillar is the pickiest eater on earth. It eats one thing, only one thing: the leaves of a specific tree. King James ordered 10,000 of these trees to be shipped to the American colonies. He mandated that settlers in Virginia plant them. By the 1700s, colonial legislatures were offering bounties, free money, to anyone who could keep these trees alive. Benjamin Franklin opened a silk reeling factory in Philadelphia. This tree was not a weed, it was the Bitcoin of the 18th century. It was green gold. Then, in the 1830s, the fever hit. A new variety of this tree arrived from China, promising faster growth and bigger leaves. America went insane. Historians call it multicorlis fever. Farmers in New England ripped out their apple orchards to plant this tree. Wall Street speculators bought futures on saplings. In 1836, a single tree cutting sold for the equivalent of $500 in today's money. Nurserymen in Pennsylvania made $100,000 in a week trading nothing but twigs. It was a bubble, fueled by the dream that America would become the silk capital of the world. Then, the bubble burst. The winter of 1839 was brutal. It killed millions of the saplings in the north. The price crashed overnight. Farmers who had bet the farm on this miracle tree were ruined. In anger, they chopped them down. They burned them. They abandoned entire nurseries. They walked away. But the tree did not. This tree is a survivor. It does not need a farmer. It does not need a Wall Street speculator. It barely needs water. It escaped the abandoned nurseries. It spread into the forests, the fence lines, the vacant lots. It hybridized with the native species, taking over ecosystems with a vigor that terrified botanists. It went from being the most desired plant in America to a trash tree in less than a generation. And today, that trash tree is feeding birds, staining driveways, and infuriating homeowners associations from coast to coast. But the ban isn't just about history. It's about control. If you ask a city official in Las Vegas or El Paso why this tree is illegal, they will give you one word: pollen. They will tell you this tree is a respiratory menace. And they are technically right. But they are hiding a crucial detail. These trees are dioecious. That means a tree is either male or female. The male trees produce pollen, clouds of pollen. They are the ones that make you sneeze. The female trees produce zero pollen, none. Instead, they produce fruit. So why ban the whole species? Why not just ban the males? Because the female trees are messy. They drop thousands of berries in early summer. Those berries fall on the sidewalk and on the pristine concrete driveways of suburbia. They get crushed underfoot, leaving purple stains. They attract birds, and the birds leave their own gifts on luxury cars. City managers and homeowner associations looked at this tree, and they did not see a free food source. They saw a cleaning bill. They saw a stain on their perfect, sterile landscape. So in cities like El Paso and Tucson, they passed ordinances banning the sale and planting of the entire species. They declared war on the fruit to stop the mess, and they used the pollen as the excuse. They engineered a landscape of fruitless trees, male clones, and other sterile varieties that produce no food, only pollen, creating the very allergy crisis they claim to be solving. They chose sterile air and clean concrete over messy, abundant nutrition. And make no mistake, the nutrition they outlawed is staggering. This is not a normal berry. Most fruits are bags of sugar water. A blueberry is wonderful, but it is mostly water and simple carbs. This forbidden fruit is a protein powerhouse. When dried, these berries contain up to 12% protein by weight. That is unheard of in the fruit kingdom. If you are looking for a plant-based protein source that grows on a tree, this is it. But the real shock is the iron. We are taught that to get iron, we need red meat or spinach. A serving of these dried berries contains nearly 20% of your daily iron requirement. Ounce for ounce, it rivals beef in mineral density. It is one of the highest sources of iron in the plant world, packaged with vitamin C to help you absorb it. A biological synergy that pills try to replicate. And then there is the French paradox molecule, resveratrol. It is the antioxidant in red wine that is supposed to protect your heart. Supplements sell for $50 a bottle, claiming to extract it from grapes. This tree is loaded with it. In Chinese medicine, the berries were not even the main event. They used the bark, the leaves, the twigs to clear heat from the lungs and treat coughs. Modern science is catching up. Studies suggest compounds in the leaf, specifically 1-DNJ, block the absorption of carbohydrates. They stop the enzyme that turns sugar into glucose in your blood. Essentially, this weed is a natural blood sugar regulator, growing in the cracks of the pharmacy parking lot. So we have a tree that produces protein like a legume, contains iron like a steak, holds antioxidants like a grape, regulates blood sugar like a pharmaceutical, and grows so aggressively that you cannot kill it with a chainsaw. We ban it. You know it as the white mulberry, Morus alba. In 1992, El Paso prohibited it. Las Vegas stopped issuing permits for it. We labeled it invasive. And invasive is a funny word. In the dictionary, it means tending to spread prolifically and undesirably. But in the context of Secrets of the Land, invasive usually means successful without our permission. It means a plant that refuses to die when we stop watering it. A plant that feeds life even when we try to starve it. It is successful in ways that make people uncomfortable. The white mulberry is the ultimate rebel. It grows in the worst soil. It laughs at drought. It shrugs off salt from road dicers. Its roots are aggressive. They will crack a foundation if you plant a tree too close. They are searching for water, searching for life. That strength is why the pioneers loved it. The wood is dense and rot-resistant, perfect for fence posts that last a century. The berries fed their pigs and chickens, turning free fruit into bacon and eggs. It was a closed-loop system of abundance. But the modern city hates closed loops. The modern city wants you to buy your fruit from a store, imported from Chile. It wants you to buy your iron in a pill. It wants you to buy your shade from a sterile, patented maple tree that dies in 20 years, so you have to buy another one. The mulberry disrupts the supply chain. If you have a mature female mulberry tree, you have hundreds of pounds of fruit every June. You cannot eat it all. You have to share it. You have to dry it. You have to make wine. It forces you to engage with abundance. It forces you to deal with the mess of nature, which is actually just the generosity of the earth. The bans in the Southwest are often defended as water conservation measures. These trees drink too much, they say. But go look at a mulberry tree in an abandoned lot. Is anyone watering it? No. Is it dying? No. It has found its own water. It has tapped into the deep earth. It is cooling the air, shading the asphalt, and feeding the birds without a drop of municipal irrigation. The thirsty label is a lie used to sell xeriscaping rocks and cactus, which provide no food and no shade. So, how do we reclaim this illegal superfood? First, know the law, but know the biology better. The bans usually target new plantings. If you have an old tree, it is likely grandfathered in. Protect it. If you live in a zone where it is legal, plant it. But be smart. Do not plant a male tree. Nobody needs more pollen. Plant a female cultivar. Varieties like Illinois Everbearing produce massive, long berries that do not stain as badly because you pick them before they drop. Plant it away from your driveway. Give it space. Let it be messy in the corner of your yard where the chickens run. If you live where it is banned, look around. The ban stopped new plantings, but they could not stop the birds. The birds ate the forbidden fruit and planted the seeds everywhere. Go to the parks. Go to the edges of the city. Look for the lobed leaves, the knobby bark. In June, look for the stained sidewalk, the purple crime scene that reveals the treasure above. Harvest the fruit. Shake the branches onto a sheet. Dry them in the sun. Store them for winter. You are eating the ghost of the Silk Road. You are eating the failure of a 19th century stock market bubble. You are eating the iron and protein that the city council voted to destroy. The industry calls it a weed because it grows too well. The city calls it illegal because it gives too much. But nature calls it a gift. The white mulberry is a reminder that abundance is the natural state of the world. Scarcity is something we have to manufacture with laws, with concrete, and with poisons. They can ban the tree, but they cannot stop the roots. They cannot stop the birds, and they cannot stop those of us who know the truth. This is a plant that survived the collapse of the silk industry. It survived the Dust Bowl. It is surviving the war on weeds. It is waiting for you to look up, see the berries, and realize that the best food in your city is not in the supermarket. It is hanging over your head, technically illegal, and delicious. If this video unlocked a secret for you, smile for you. If you see the purple stains on the sidewalk differently now, subscribe to Secrets of the Land. Hit the bell. Share this story. Every person who forages a mulberry is one less person dependent on their system. The next secret is waiting.